Absolutely massive boxing card in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia this weekend with the Day of Reckoning event. Ethan, I want to start with that Anthony Joshua Otto Wallin fight. Joshua minus 435 here, with Wallin coming back at around plus 290. Wallin coming off easily his best win with a split decision over Gassiev. His one loss coming to Tyson Fury in a unanimous decision, but he did get to him early on in that one. I think Wallin actually has a shot here, and there is value on his money line. But what's your take on this one?
Yeah, Wallin did a number on Fury in that fight, and he definitely has a shot. And at plus 290, I think he's worth the gamble. But we know AJ's style. Joshua is long and strong, and he can be super crisp when he's motivated. And I think right now he is very motivated. Of course, he has a fight booked, I believe, for March with Deontay Wilder. You don't often see fights booked before a guy has another opponent. So I think Joshua's going to be feeling himself. He could get a little sloppy, and there's, I think, value to live bet Wallin if you do see Joshua sliding a little bit. And it's tempting, but I think my best bet for this card is going to be Joshua by decision at plus 120. Maybe it's wishful thinking because I don't want them to spoil that Wilder fight down the road, but I'm going to be putting my money on Joshua this weekend.
Well, speaking of Deontay, and this card is stacked, but another intriguing matchup in the division is Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker. Wilder, huge fave here at minus 650. Parker plus 405. Parker 9-1 since back-to-back losses to Joshua and Dillian White back in 2018. Deontay followed up those back-to-back losses against Tyson Fury with a KO of Robert Helenius. But this is his first fight in over a year. So what are you expecting in this fight?
Yeah, I like Joseph Parker. I like him a lot. He might not be that elite tier level, but he's not far behind. He's a big, strong, kind of thick dude, and he does damage when he gets in really close, and that's going to be key to watch. Parker loves ripping the body, and he'll do that Saturday for sure if he gets a chance. But for Wilder, it's all about that atomic right hand, and he's longer. He's a skinny guy. He's tall, but if he can line Parker up, get him moving backwards, I think we got a strong chance of another Bronze Bomber KO. So the odds do make this a little bit of a tough fight to bet. But my best bet, I'm going to narrow it down to a specific range of rounds. I like Wilder in rounds 1 to 3. You're going to get some pretty good value on that too at around plus 375, plus 400. And if you're less certain on that range, then the under 6.5 at minus 120 is a really strong rounds bet as well.
Yeah, I love both of those. Another really good fight on this card pits Dmitry Bivol against Lyndon Arther for the IBO World Light Heavy and WBA Super World Light Heavy belts. Bivol, of course, in the pound-for-pound convo. So good against Canelo last year. 21-0. Going up against a good fighter in Lyndon Arther, but Bivol is a massive fave here. Surely there's no chance for an Arther upset at around 11-1, is there?
No, there is no chance for a Lyndon Arther upset. I'll save you the suspense completely. Bivol, he's got an interesting style. He's definitely talented, right? But he's almost all jabs, like 80% jabs. And then he kind of holds that right hand back, and he uses it, whether he's going to use it or not. He's technical enough to win without it. But that threat, I think, strikes fear into a lot of opponents. So if Bivol can open up, he can get dangerous. But his last 8 fights have gone the distance. And for that reason, my best bet is Bivol by decision at around minus 135.
Okay, one last fight I want to get to, and it's not on the Saudi Arabia card, but for my money, the pound-for-pound best boxer in the world is Naoya Inoue out of Japan, and he's going up against Marlon Tapales to become undisputed in a second weight class. Tapales is the holder of the WBA, WBC, WBO, and IBF Super Bantam belts. This one goes early morning on Boxing Day with Monster at minus 1,600. Any thoughts on how to bet this one, Ethan?
Yeah, it's not even a controversial opinion now to put Inoue in that pound-for-pound conversation. He's really, really good. He gets nice and wide. He's a strong hitter, and he's a menace at this weight class. The Monster is super, super destructive, and if you think he's going to lose as a minus 1,600 favorite, there is no chance, pal. I'm going similar to my Wilder strategy. I like Inoue to score a knockdown, but I'm going to peg that in between rounds 1 and round 6. That's my move. It comes in at plus 130, and that's the action I'm going to be riding with on Boxing Day.
Follow Ethan on X at Ethan Diamandas and read his great boxing content over at oddshark.com.